Just one day after giving a controversial stand-up set at a Donald Trump rally, Tony Hichcliffe recorded Kill Tony, number 691, at the Comedy Mothership with guests James McCann and Matti. Tony did confirm during this episode that there were supposed to be some Hollywood guests for this episode of Kill Tony, but because of his comments during the Donald Trump rally, they did cancel their appearance. But lucky for us, we did get one of the best guests that we've had in a while in James McCann. He absolutely killed in his last appearance with Shane Gillis, and right beside him we get one of the best regulars at the moment in Matti. Now, as far as the Tony Hinchcliffe in Puerto Rico, debacle and problems that he has going on with that, he wasted little time to try and get ahead of it and discuss what went on at the Donald Trump rally, giving an opening monologue to start the show.
Last night, guys, hold on a second. Ladies and gentlemen, last night I gave a speech. I don't know if you've heard about this. It was a speech about free speech, believe it or not. And I'm currently under attack. I'm the news. I don't know if you guys know this, but on my speech on free speech, I referenced Puerto Rico, which currently has a landfill problem in which all of their landfills are filled to the brim. I guess I'm the only person that knew about this, unfortunately. And with that said, I just want to say that I love Puerto Ricans. They're very smart people. They're smart, they're street smart, and they're smart enough to know when they're being used as political fodder. And right now, that is happening. And I apologize to absolutely nobody. Not to the Puerto Ricans, not to the whites, not to the blacks, not to the Palestinians, not to the Jews, and not to my own mother, who I made fun of during the set. Nobody clipped that. No headlines about me making fun of my own mother. Perhaps that venue at that time wasn't the best fucking place to do this set at. But in any matter, to the mainstream media and to everybody trying to slander me online, that's what I do. I go hard, and that's never going to change. Who's ready for the best fucking night of their lives?
The opening monologue, he discussed how the people of Puerto Rico are smart enough to understand when they are being used for political fodder, and talked about how everything that he said was supposed to be taken as a joke. And of course, us as Kill Tony fans, us as stand-up comedian fans, or stand-up comedy fans, obviously understood this, but for all of his new fans, all the people that are keeping a sharp eye on Tony after the whole Donald Trump speech, Puerto Rico speech, he needs to get that out of the way. But he was able to deliver this opening monologue without, having to give a grand apology or having to, back down from his art or from his stand-up comedy. He decided to come in with the approach of saying, this is what I said, this is how I delivered it. I understand that it wasn't the best case scenario, but this is what I did. And I think he delivered that opening monologue perfectly, and he ended it by saying that he is going to apologize to absolutely nobody. And I think that's exactly how Tony should have approached it, and he did it. And to, come on to your show after, 24 hours after giving such a, notable speech at a political event where, you are the number one trending person at the moment, and people are, insulting you, or people are, on your side. It takes a lot of balls to go out there and do what Tony did. So, you gotta respect him for doing that. And of course, this was a very, very heavy Tony versus Puerto Rico episode, as first ever Kill Tony regular Kim Congdon got onto the stage and did some Tony Hinchcliffe roast jokes.
Next one we go. Is that bucket pool here? Is that here? Oh shit. What the fuck is this? Oh no. What is going on? Oh God. Oh, God save us all. Oh my God. It's Kim Congdon, resident Puerto Rican roast comedian. Oh no. Oh God. Make some fucking noise for the first ever Kill Tony regular, Kim Congdon.
Thank you very much. How we doing, Austin? Hell yeah. My name's Kim Congdon, and I'm one of the first Kill Tony regulars, and I am a Puerto Rican comedian. These are my white slaves. And I really wanted to take this opportunity tonight to do something that every Puerto Rican wants to do right now.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding. But I did watch I watched the Trump rally, dude. I watched Tony's speech. I was a little bit upset. I got to tell you, half my blood is Puerto Rican. It's true. Unlike Tony's blood, half of his is HIV. As you see the back, my white slaves are holding some Puerto Rican flags. Those are Puerto Rican flags, people. They look different. They do. They have one star, just like Tony's first Netflix special. Tony, you called Puerto Rico an island full of piles of hot trash, which is very close to what you like. Islands full of piles of hot boys, you it. And I'm here to stand up for my people tonight because I'm going to say Puerto Ricans are American as fuck. We're just like y'all. We have a lot of American contributions and traits. We love our culture. We love our music. We work in aerospace. We don't want white people on our island. We're racist like you guys. And this is the last thing I'll say, Tony. I think it's fucking insane that you don't like Puerto Rico. It's a beautiful place, and the only dirty parts have been taken over by white billionaires. It's literally Austin, you idiot. Thank you guys so much. I'm Kim Congdon.
That was fun to see. Talked about how the star on the Puerto Rican flag has one star, much like Tony's Netflix special, and she delivered even more just heavy-hitting roast jokes, and she joined the panel for the remainder of the show. So you do like to see that, and you like to see Kim Congdon come back, and just to see Tony at 24 hours notice, really, to book a show like that, to get Kim Congdon on, a Puerto Rican comedian, your first ever regular, to get her on and to deliver this this roast act, to deliver this awesome moment for you, and to kind of humble, not humble Tony per se, but to put him in more of a fuck this guy, let's roast him, and have the Puerto Ricans, I guess, get one over on Tony Hinchcliffe. And that was very funny. Liked what Kim Congdon did there, liked the bit, and liked how she delivered that roast. And the setup as well of having, her get carried onto the stage, and, everything from it I thought was done excellently. James McCann as well dropped a lot of one-liners throughout the show regarding the situation, and he had one of the more relatable lines throughout the show.
Fucking wacky white guys up here.
Yeah.
That's what's going on. A Canadian, an Australian, and an Estonian walk into a comedy club. This is
No one in this business has done more for immigrants and the disabled than Tony Hinchcliffe.
Yeah.
I feel that is being missed from all of these stories.
Woo! Can you please tweet that? Oh my goodness. Hell yeah. So
when he said that Tony has done more for immigrants and disabled comics than anybody in the industry, and it's hard to really argue that. I mean, you know, you look at Tony's band, which he referenced at the beginning of the show as well, you know, introducing all the people of color and different ethnicities that he has in the band, and all the disabled comics that he has given a spotlight to over the years on Kill Tony. And, you know, while we laugh and we say, you know, if you have cerebral palsy, you can just go on Kill Tony, you'll automatically get a golden ticket. But it is true, Tony has given out opportunities to comics and to people who, you know, maybe otherwise wouldn't have had an opportunity to begin with. So Tony, you know, has done that for years. So cool to see that, you know, get brought into light. But probably the stand-up comedian who gave the best take on the Tony situation and delivered the best jokes was William Montgomery.
After hearing Tony's jokes at the Trump rally, Donald is now wishing he would have been shot in his other ear, too. Tony asked the Trump campaign if he could ever work with them again. They said, yeah, we'll contact you using this special beeper. I asked Tony if he was worried about being chased by the Puerto Ricans, and he said, no, I bought a jet ski. What did you mean by that, Tony?
Who had 45 seconds of material on Tony Hinchcliffe in the Puerto Rican situation and ended it with a Pope joke in true William Montgomery style, having 45 seconds on, you know, the main topic and then just completely switching gears, staying true to his character, which is, you know, being all over the place. And William Montgomery had, you know, the funniest joke, I think, that anybody had on Tony the whole night, where he said, after hearing Tony's jokes about Puerto Rico, Donald Trump wishes that he got shot in his other ear. Perfect joke, perfect delivery, and, you know, really, they addressed the whole thing perfectly, in my opinion. You know, they didn't take it too seriously, and they didn't, you know, underestimate, you know, how, I guess, seriously other people took it, and they made a lot of jokes about it, and the jokes that they made were, you know, very effective. And they had, you know, a Puerto Rican comedian and Kim Congdon come in and, you know, take Tony down a peg. Just, I think everything that Tony did as far as the Puerto Rican content goes, the Puerto Rico content goes, knocked it out of the park. So, you know, that does it for, you know, the discussion on the Puerto Rican content, or the Puerto Rico part of the show, which was, you know, a very, very heavy part of this episode. Let's dive in to the guests, starting off with Matti, who came in and gave a spectacular set, attacking both sides of the political spectrum.
Whatever you vote for is your business. But the sign outside of your house on the lawn is fucking insane. That's where your wife and kids live. Even if you vote for Kamala, don't put a sign out there for the maniacs to see that in this house there's an unarmed pussy waiting. I'm gonna rob you out of principle. I'm just gonna walk in, give me all your shit. Some Sam Smith looking fuck is in the kitchen. Wearing a mask in his own house. Oh! Honey, come down. He's here to rob us. Some green-haired bitch comes down. Don't assume they are here to rob us. That's why the sign outside my lawn has Trump 2024 with 2 swastikas. In this house, we grab pussy, we shoot people. Come on in! Thank you very much.
And then after he delivered that amazing set, he got to stay around and host. It's Matti's second time on the panel, and it really shows just how confident Tony is in Ari Matti and how quickly he's rising the comedic ranks. You know, it could also be said, that not a whole lot of people wanted to be on this episode to kill Tony, and you could probably make that argument, but still, Ari Matti having the ability to not only deliver just clean minute after clean minute every time he's on, but to be funny on that panel as a regular is not an easy task to do. You watch those regular episodes that Kill Tony puts on, and not everybody that does a minute every week does a great job when they have to do the hosting duties. Ari Matti is a rare case where he's good at both. He's good at hosting and he's good at preparing a minute each and every week. So shout out to Ari Matti and what he was able to do as a host in this episode. James McCann as well. I'm glad to see him back for a second time. His episode with Shane Gillis was a great episode, and he's just a killer, man. I've seen him live a couple months ago, and he's great live as well. He has a great stage presence. He's quick, with the back and forth with the bucket pulls. He had great chemistry with Ari throughout the show, and he had his fair share of good lines and bits as well. To demonstrate James and Ari's good chemistry throughout the show, the bucket pull, who only had one testicle, came up, and when they wanted to know how much cum he ends up with after a good night with a woman, they were both very much in sync, talking about how much cum does that man actually unload.
Oh, yeah.
Is there like less
It's
cum?
a little bit
Is
of
there
like
less
a,
cum?
Is
there less cum?
It's kind of like
Is there
a
less
shoot
cum?
and like a little flag comes.
Is there less cum? Is there less cum? That's
there
all I'm-
less cum?
Is there less cum?
Is there
They
less
want to know
cum?
if there's less cum.
I'll be.
Listen, is there less cum?
Is there less
Okay,
cum?
let me blow you real
we
quick
all
in the
have
back.
check bags. What do you got to carry on? It seems like a normal amount of cum, but
How do you know what's normal?
yeah, that's a great question.
So that was a very, very funny moment for both of those guys, and a funny moment for the show as a whole. Redban even had a good episode, getting a new sound for when he does a funny bit or tells a funny joke during the episode, and he pitched in a pretty good bit throughout this episode. However, his two funniest moments for me were moments that were kind of under the radar, and moments that didn't even get that new victory sound.
Because even this
starting
earth
off
need
with
a happy
the
ending.
Chicken Big
Word.
Mac.
Wow. All right. Wow.
Is the chicken Big Mac going to stay on the menu?
Redban wants to know if the chicken Big Mac is going to stay on the menu. After your performance, that's all we are curious about.
I'll be honest. That's all I was thinking about as well. And
Wow.
it's gonna be a McRib situation. Definitely, it's gonna come and go.
That sucks, man.
Right. What's your living situation?
Right, the Chicken Big Mac. The guy, the first bucket pull of the night, does a whole rap. And after the rap is over, all Brian Redban is thinking about is food, and thinking about how much longer is the Chicken Big Mac going to be on the menu, because the guy is a shift leader at the local McDonald's. And when he asked that question, after he tells Redban that it's going to be a McRib situation where it comes and goes, he takes a long drag of his cigarette and says, that sucks, man. Which I just his reaction to it was like his dog had just died. You know, it was a very, very funny moment from Redban and a funny moment during the show. The other funny soundboard moment from Brian Redban this episode was when Cam Patterson was discussing his cousin and how they weren't actually related.
Staying with you?
No. He live in Atlanta.
Okay.
He just came to my show in Atlanta and shit. It's funny. He not my real cousin.
Right. Are they ever your real cousin?
What? You got to...
Redban was quick with a fire alarm chirp, and nobody really called this out, and nobody laughed during this, but that was just so quick, so funny, so spot on. Like, I was very surprised nobody called this out or began laughing really hard at that, because I was laughing my ass off when Redban played that chirp. So shout out to Redban, who has had a great solid couple episodes these last couple of months, really. Redban has been stretching it together. Fiona Cauley also had a very special appearance in this episode, you know, and it's always great to see her. She's, I don't believe, a golden ticket. She's not a regular, but, you know, she does make appearances from time to time, and she had a really good set and a solid interview. Her set was about her boyfriend cheating on her, or her ex-boyfriend cheating on her, which she felt was lazy because he could have just went upstairs. That was brilliant. And she told a story during her interview about how she was recognized for being on Kill Tony after her wheelchair broke.
Fort Worth a couple days ago, and when I got to the hotel, my wheelchair broke, which was a fucking nightmare, and I was stranded and alone. And a random man recognized me from Kill Tony.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
I thought that story was going to go a whole nother direction.
Still go bad.
Like the easiest raping of all time was about to take place there.
Rape to go.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Did he have one testicle by any chance this guy? So a guy found you and he helped you out?
He did help me. Everyone talks about like the Kill Tony bump, but they don't talk about the Kill Tony push.
I love that. I love that. What did he do? Did he jump your battery or something like that? What exactly? Did he plug you into a wall? What exactly had to happen there for that to work? What was wrong with your chair?
I have no fucking idea. These chairs keep breaking every 6 months. I like asked them, the company, what the fuck was going on, and they said I was using it too much.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty cruel of the company to be making chairs that are disabled.
And, you know, she was telling, you know, jokes about how that could have been the easiest raping that could have ever taken place. And she called it a rape to go, which was a wild thing to say, but was a great, great joke. You know, and as far as her chair breaking, you know, she said that it was because she's using the chair too much, which is a bananas thing for a wheelchair to do. You know, breaking because you are getting too much use out of it when all you're doing is sitting in it all day. All you have to do is use it. Makes no sense to me. And she also dropped a fun one-liner where she said, everybody talks about the Kill Tony bump, but nobody talks about the Kill Tony push, which I thought was fun. That's a good little joke there. And shout out to Fiona Cauley. Hope she comes back again soon. Now, going over the bucket pulls, you know, the show started off kind of weak with the McDonald's manager, who also was a rapper. He did a spelling bit that was absolutely bonkers. Just, you know, spelled every letter out of his joke, and it was not funny, but it was just confusing. Like, I don't know how, like, you would even come up with that as a joke to tell on stage, but you know, he decided that that's what he was going to do, and it didn't work, I don't think. But, you know, he was 7 years in the game, so maybe he can, you know, come back and do a little bit better. But he also said that he doesn't do jokes, he only does bits. And his name was Matt the W, because you split his name into thirds, and that's how it would be pronounced. And that is the most, like Tony said, autistic thing that I have ever heard.
H H E E L L O. That's how me and my girlfriend speak. So I told her the other day, I was like, hey, bae, come give me a kiss. K, I, S, sizzle. She says, you're a fool. F, O, U, L. I said, I know what you did, my little bro. B, R, O. She said, you better run. R, U, N, I said, from you, I'd run all the way to Mississippi. M, Thank you guys.
And he was followed by Chad Mitchell, who did a set about murdering his girlfriend to get a Netflix documentary. But that wasn't what he was remembered for. He was remembered for his interview, which was about having only one testicle. This is the second time that he has been forced to discuss this issue, and James McCann, Matti, and Tony all just, hammered home a bunch of questions to this guy.
Guys, listen, some very important men in history have had one testicle. Men that we're trying not to talk about tonight for obvious.
Wait, who?
Oh, Adolf Hitler had one testicle. Oh, yeah.
Really?
Hitler had only one good ball. Do you not know that song?
Hitler.
Is that a big Australian
They
song?
teach us that song at primary school.
Is that It's the Australian national anthem, ladies and gentlemen.
Why were we fighting him if it wasn't over his weird testicle? That's what they teach us. Maybe it's different here.
That is incredible. I had no...
Trying to get him to talk about it, and he did. He answered every question that they asked, so he was a good sport about it. But not a lot of good comedy from Mr. Mitchell, but he was a very open book when it came to talking about his ball sack. So you got to accept that, and you got to appreciate that from Mr. Chad Mitchell. And then things got interesting when Danny Martinello came on to the stage, who is a Canadian with 15 years of stand-up comedy experience, and you could tell he was nervous when he came onto the stage, but he had a ton of stage presence. He did a joke where he acted out CPR, but he was actually sucking the guy off while he was giving him CPR, and he was jerking off the mic. You could tell that he is somebody who had been doing comedy for a while with, how much he owned the stage and, how he was acting out his jokes, during the stand-up comedy set that he was doing. And he didn't have the best set overall, like we already discussed, but during his interview, he was able to do like a whole nother minute, and during that, he really got to shine, and he shined really throughout his whole entire interview, where, he talked about moving from Canada to New York and wanting to go to Austin to kind of chase, the stand-up high that is going on in Austin, Texas right now. And he mentioned how Ron White's speech during the Madison Square Garden show for Kill Tony kind of influenced him to come to Austin. And, he ended up kind of, having his dreams come true by getting to shake Ron White's hand.
Make some fucking noise for the great Ron White. Did you hear what this kid said about your speech in Madison Square Garden?
I was up there and heard it. I came down here. Well, fuck, I walk out and give him a hug. Give him a smile.
I love it. Danny, come back out here. Danny Martinello. How long have you lived in New York? Get back to that mic.
February. Since February.
February. And before that, you were in Edmonton.
No, I lived in Toronto for like 8 years, and then I applied for my visa.
Made the big move.
Yeah, and then I just said fuck it, and then went up to the oil patch for like 6-7 months to work there and stack cash for the move.
What you said is that New York is always the place that you looked at like the place to do stand-up comedy. Am I correct?
Yeah, but like from like a level where it was like you're like you want to be the cellar, you want to be past the
Sure.
all that shit, and then you see from like a kid growing up in Canada, you're like, oh, this is the epicenter of like some of the best, but what's happening here is like
it's true.
Like,
And-
I thought this while I was here walking, and like I don't know, because maybe it feels like what? The fuck you laughing at? Hey, I'm just being vulnerable as an artist. You guys want to make fun of me? Huh? Can't all be dick jokes. Fuck.
Danny, I'm gonna get to my point real quick before
Okay,
you
thanks,
ruin
thanks,
everything.
thanks,
before
dude.
you absolutely
Yeah,
ruin everything.
Austin's better than New York in the sense where you can pop off more here, and there's a lot of
you
good
don't,
shit.
You don't have to say that. What I'm going to offer is this: is that if by some crazy fucking chance, who knows what could happen in this world as we know, but if by some crazy chance this show happens to do Madison Square Garden again, would you like to do a set there?
Fuck yeah, baby, let's ride.
So there you go. Danny Martinello. How loud can this place get for the great and powerful Ron fucking White? It's come full.
It was a cool moment to watch and get to experience. And after he got to meet Ron White, he got invited to do a show if Madison Square Garden ever has Tony Hichcliffe back. I hope with making promises like that, Tony and the gang do come back to Madison Square Garden, because that's a huge get and a big moment for a guy like Danny. Other than that, no other bucket pulls really stole the show. Lil God came on and rapped about ice cream. And, that's something that happened. Kind of a lot of, mediocre sets, mediocre stuff from the bucket pulls overall. It was really Ari, Matti, and James McCann who carried this show throughout. Lots of one-liners, lots of jokes from them, and they did a great job as the two guests on a Kill Tony episode that will be remembered for a long time because of the events that happened prior to the episode of Kill Tony number 691. What did you guys think about this episode? Let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, click the bell icon so you get notified every single time I drop a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.